here. She's just trying to share everything.
Dang. I literally always think this thing has more time on it. It's like it cuts off
You know what
abruptly.
I'm gonna do next time? I'm just gonna start putting the tickers down for you, so that way you have more time.
Yeah, seriously. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome to Friday with the Fellas. I'm in the middle of trying to share the live stream, and next thing I know, we're live. But um, happy birthday to my sister, Big 50, Anissa Jones. All week, she's doing 50 days of celebration. So happy birthday to her. Did a big presentation to her on my page and my Wednesday show with Tanitra Batiste, the lovely Tanitra Batiste. And of course, this is our Friday segment, guys. I'm joined by BA and James J. Train Martin. Guys, how are you guys doing today?
Doing
It's
well.
Friday. That's all I
You
gotta
know
say. It's
me.
Friday.
I'm a
It's
fan of
Friday.
somebody. I'm a
It's
big
Friday.
fan of somebody, and a move has been made, sis.
Yes, yes, yes. So, and shout out to Pink Fan Fur. We'll get to all that. This is going to be probably an NBA focused show tonight with all the big news that we got to discuss. Shout out to Pink, like I said, for the realest real creations out there. And again, thank you to Tanitra Batiste, who is also reporter with the W. She's actually in Chicago right now at the All-Star game. And so just a lot going on. I know Tanitra probably is shocked as well. Like you said, James, fan of somebody. And so we're going to get right to it because I know it's a lot to discuss, a lot to unpack. And you guys are probably going to see me look down because I'm still trying to share. So thank you to those platforms that are allowing me to share tonight. And I think I got everything else. B, hope you're still celebrating your birthday. Was to kick this off for the beginning of July. You got a few precious moments left here in the month of July. About another weekend, not even a full weekend, and then it'll be a wrap, as they say. And we'll be on to Hall of Fame week and all that good stuff. And the NFL season will be amongst us. Before we start the NBA news, I do want to plug in this Panthers news. Off the rip. The training season started this week, and the Carolina Panthers suffered a huge blow yesterday with the loss of Nick Scorton. ACL was carted off during practice, literally the very first practice, and already been checked out. ACL out for the season. And that is a huge blow to the Panthers as a whole, both offensive and defensively, despite what position Nick played. And it's one of these things I always think about. As soon as I see an injury, I'm just like, is this a conditioning thing? Or like, I know other teams have come in and complained about the turf in Carolina because they are practicing at the bank, and an ACL is, always has to do with the step or what have you. I want to talk about it for just a couple of minutes, literally just a couple of minutes, and then we're going to kick on over to our NBA news. But I do want to talk about that because that is a huge news story, especially to me as a Panthers fan and to a lot of the football analysts who were basically talking about, Carolina really made a big turnaround. And this is the year that they thought they were, going to be advancing forward. But Nick really is that difference maker on that team. So I saw the news yesterday. I know we have a lot of Panthers fans that also follow and support. And so shout out to the YouTube audience as well. And y'all make sure you come on in and say hello. And what's up, Yenzer? I think I saw him a second ago. What are y'all's thoughts? I mean, of course it's bad, but my question is not necessarily your thought about the fact that it happened or how it happened, because you can't unscramble eggs. It's done. But it's more so, how do the Panthers move forward? I've seen some images out there where they were saying, perhaps the Panthers should go and try to pick up a replacement for the season, and I just don't know. I would like to feel that the Panthers already have someone in place to at least kind of fill in this spot for the time being, at least for the entire season. Let's be clear, it's the season.
I'm not trying to be rude when I ask this question, but did he play defensive end? What was his position?
Linebacker.
Okay. I'm just gonna say I already bragged on your defense Sunday when we were on this getting ready to be the big football show. I just said that the defense is stacked, and I said we're going to have to watch out for them. Of course, I don't like any team in the NFC South, but I'm always going to give praise to teams when I see it, and I think your team can survive that. I think your team can survive that. You got Devin Lloyd as a linebacker there. I'm not saying that Nick Gordon can be replaced per se, but I'm pretty sure they got somebody in the lineup that where you made some moves to where he won't necessarily be missed. That's what I'm saying. You have Jalen Phillips. You got your cornerback that's back there. Was it J.C. Horn?
Yes,
I just think that you got a really stout defense right now, and you got your big man in the middle, Derek. What's his name? Brown. It's yeah. I mean, if all those guys remain intact, I don't see you falling off at all. I think that defense is going to be as good as it was last year, even better with the players that they've added on. So you really, while it's a bad situation, you don't want to see anybody get hurt or have an ACL tear. I've torn two myself, and I believe you've torn one yourself. You just don't want to see that, but you see that the team, it wasn't just on pins and needles with a scant crew. Mm-hmm. You beefed up your defense. So if something like this were to happen, you have emergencies in place. That's all I can say on that.
And thank you, James, for that. You always give an honest opinion, even when it's competitive. So I appreciate that. I will say that he also played edge rush as well. And last year he actually led our team with 5 sacks. He had 9 quarterback hits and 47 tackles. And that's huge when you're coming for making sure, he had 8 starts, 17 games, but 8 starts, which lets me know there is another person there. But that was his rookie season. That was his breakout season. So it was only going to be, as they say, up from here. I mean, B, you're very familiar with these types of things, dealing with the Lions, and then just having the football acumen that you have. Do you tend to agree with James, as far as, because you don't have a team in the South, but we are playing the Lions this year. And so it's a battle of felines. And I just, wonder if you think that the defense is going to be affected, especially with the offense of the Lions, specifically for that game, because that's going to be a great game.
Yeah. Panthers and the Lions game aside, their defense should have somebody in place for Nick Gordon. That is a big loss for you guys. But again, you're going to have to make do with what you have. And I'm sure they got some backup plans for that. I'm sure they always – what's good about teams is they're really thorough about their lineups and who they put in there. So they always go through these scenarios. What if we lose this guy? What if we lose that guy? What if we lose this guy? And they're able to recover from that. So we'll see if that works out well. Again, this is his second year, and his first year was cut short last year too, wasn't it? Didn't he have an injury last year?
Nick Gordon?
Yeah. Or did he just start later? Because you said he played like 8 games. Oh, okay. So, I mean, just with that, I would say that the Panthers shouldn't be too much in panic. Again, like James said, it's hard to replace a guy like Nick Gordon. You don't want to see that kind of injury happen. But they should have some stalwart in place for that. They should be fine.
Yeah, hopefully. So got some breaking news here, guys, if you're wondering. Unfortunately, NFL guard Jordan Devy has passed away at the age of 38. That news broke about an hour ago. And he played with the Ravens, the Patriots, the Chiefs, the Raiders, and the Bills. And this is the thing, guys. They've set up a GoFundMe, and they've already released that he took his own life. This is horrific. This is Jordan Devy, 38 years old. His wife literally said today would have been their anniversary, 15 years, and he unalived himself. And this is on Yahoo Sports. This is breaking news. Like I said, he was drafted in 2013 by the Baltimore Ravens. After going undrafted out of Memphis, he would join the Patriots practice squad that September. He ended up playing 6 regular season games in 2014 as the team went on to win the Super Bowl over the Seattle Seahawks in that same season. This is horrific, you guys. He went to the 49ers in 2015 and was picked up by the Chiefs after being waived the following offseason. He spent 3 seasons with the Kansas City Chiefs before finishing his career in 2021 after leaving the Raiders, finishing with the Buffalo Bills. Wow. Mental health is real.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. Yeah, I'm sorry.
The fact that they're having a GoFundMe is another part that I'm just concerned about, that you've played in the league for any amount of time and you don't even have, basic life insurance or what have you. And I haven't read the details of the GoFundMe, but just anytime there's a GoFundMe attached, there's a lack of finances somewhere. This is definitely a blow, and I have no words, honestly. What's up, Ricky? All right, guys. Let's move on over to our NBA news. The big news the whole world has been waiting on, and I did not see this coming, is I guess I'm going to have to call him LeBron and start saying LeBum, because he's clearly making moves and still getting paid for them past the age of 40. I did not see him going to the 76ers. I know there were a lot of teams that were interested in him, but he has signed the veteran minimum contract with the Philadelphia 76ers. That deal is worth $3.88 million for this 26-27 season, with a $4.07 million player option for 27-28. And this actually represents the staggering $48.7 million pay cut, y'all. He took that much of a pay cut to leave the Lakers, where he had a $52.6 million salary last season. And there's a nuance with this cap, because it's a 2-year deal. The Sixers do not get the standard cap relief for veteran minimum contracts, and it pushes Philadelphia about a little over $500,000, $572,000 over the first apron, forcing them to make a roster trim or a trade, guys. First of all, are you guys shocked? He's 41 years old, 24 years entering into this next season. He's going to be up there with Brown and Embiid. I mean, wow. Are we shocked?
You said you didn't see this coming, but let me give you a little horn session here.
Actually sounds like January horn.
Yes, I knew it was coming. I knew he was going to Philadelphia. I've been saying this for the past few weeks. I blew the horn because I was tooting my own horn there.
Actually, but the horn sound like a real horn. Like, I guess that's a New Orleans thing. But it literally, I was sitting there like, is he holding something? Like, wow.
I got a little something there. But yes, it is LeBron James talk time. So LeBron James out of Akron, Ohio, 4-time NBA champion, 2 in Miami, 1 in Los Angeles, and 1 in Cleveland. Been every stop that he's made, he's had a championship. This presumably, to me, will be his last stop. He's got 2 years. 2 years, I heard something, I thought it, and then I heard a confirmation maybe from Stephen A. Smith on his show, Stephen A. Talks. He said that he thinks LeBron James is trying to get 2 championships, that would tie with Michael Jordan, Jeffrey Jordan, and that would give him 6 championships if he were to win, well, with this team, mind you. LeBron is 41, about to be 42, and probably going to be the 3rd or 4th option, but he's still going to, let me see, how's LeBron going to team up with the guy who trashed his son, laugh out loud? Hey, this is business. This is straight business. And I think, from what I understand, also, Yinzer, those guys talked it out. Those guys talked everything out. And LeBron James is putting himself in position. There's a 1 who's Tyrese Maxey. There's a 2, VJ Edgecombe. There's a 3, Jaylen Brown. There's a 5, Joel Embiid. And the 4th spot was missing a guy, and that 4th spot is going to be for LeBron James. And I think this catapults them. The odds went from 20-1 to 9-1 for them to win the championship. And so LeBron James and his crew, is if they can get 40 games out of Joel Embiid in the regular season, 30, 40 games, and he can play the rest of the playoffs, I'm picking them to win. I pick them to win a championship. I'm calling it from right here, right now. And
Yeah,
we can mark this date. We can mark this day at July 24th, 2026, that James called it. Well, he's wrong or right. We can mark that day. I'm calling them to win a championship. And that's over the championship Knicks who've won. I think they will be better than them. And I definitely think they'll be better than Boston. And those are the top 3 teams in the East to me.
I mean, Brian, they said that. I'm so used to just saying B, but I said Brian this time. Brian, they're saying, like, what's up with Bronny then? Like, they don't have no room for him. I thought he was going to tag along.
I mean, it is what it is. I don't know why everybody seems so surprised about this. This is not nothing that came out of left field. It was either between 3 teams, Miami, Cleveland, or 76ers. So
I didn't even see the 76ers.
LeBron is known for chasing rings. He's gonna try to chase this one because he's got a lineup. The only problem I have with this, especially that apron thing, they already don't have a bench. They're going to have to get rid of somebody else from the bench. That's going to be their Achilles heel going into the championship. I think they can win the Eastern Conference. I don't think they can win a championship, though. They're not deep enough. If they were deep enough, I would give them that chance. I think they can get in the Eastern Conference championship and be in a championship, but I don't think they can win it because they're not deep enough. They're going to get wore out. You got to remember, you got a lot of you got some young players. They're true, but Embiid, you got to make sure he makes it through a season. Hell, you got to make sure LeBron makes it through the season.
New York lost some of their bench. New York lost some of their bench. Who do you think? Who do you think will matter? Okay, so I knew it. I knew you were about to say. You really think that Detroit is going to get up there to the finals?
James,
come on, man.
Stop.
Come on,
First
man.
of all, I didn't say nothing about Detroit. What did I just say?
I can read you.
Hold up.
I'll read you like a book, sir.
The Philadelphia 76ers are going to win the Eastern Conference? What
no, I thought you said I thought you said they were getting there, but they weren't going to win.
I said they were going to win the Eastern Conference and be in championship. They ain't going to beat the championships because they ain't got a bench. That's what I said.
Well, I stand corrected, sir.
Yeah, see? You with that homerism stuff got to go. Anyway, you know I talk real shit. I don't be talking about that really dumb stuff everybody else be talking about. Anyway, on top of that,
I will say I honestly did not realize. I honestly just overlooked the 76ers completely. I guess because in my mind I just always thought, you know, they're always trying to prop Embiid up. He's been injured like all the time. And I feel like LeBron is just there, like just to hold him up, to prop him up, to try to drag him through, you know, kicking and screaming, whatever it takes. But now knowing that this deal means they got to trim somebody, who do you guys think is a good idea? Like they don't want to trim one of their main stars that they're going to need to win. You don't want to do that.
They have. You sure they have to trim?
Yeah. They said because they got to trim. Yeah, that was like the first part. They said they had to trim
under the apron.
But the apron, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I agree with you though, James. I definitely don't think New York's gonna run it back. Not like that. I mean, they're good, and it's no hate, no shame. Mm-hmm. I just feel like there were too many close calls that New York got there. And I think had it not been the Spurs, had it been the Thunder that were there, we'd be having a different conversation for the championship as opposed to the juvenile Spurs. No disrespect, Spurs fan, but they're a young team. Especially with Wemby bending over like a rubber band everywhere. They
also have Dean Wade too. They added Dean Wade to their roster as well, which is a good thing for them as well. And I doubt they get rid of him. So it's probably going to be a couple of the guys from the bottom pool.
Oof. But it would have to be somebody substantial enough for them to like, or just whoever, just a bench warmer.
Somebody to match what you just said, whatever, to put them over maybe $1.5 million. What's
the penalty? What's the penalty if they don't get under the?
It's usually money and draft picks. I mean, it could be draft picks if you stay over.
Well,
they don't want that. They don't want that
championship. You know.
Yeah. Shout out to
that's a good point, Ricky.
Yeah. Shout out to all the podcasts platforms I finally finished sharing. I'm gonna have to have a 5-minute intro. And it's funny because on the Wednesday night show, I could have sworn it was a longer song. Like I literally had more time. And then so now I'm just gonna have to know that when we do Friday with Fellaz, Yeah, and I wish it was a way like we need like somebody that just like logs into all the accounts and just knows how to do all that stuff. But B is on the show, so he's normally the one, but he's here. So yeah, so okay, well, I mean, now since we talked about the money part and you all are talking about the playoffs, what about like just them advancing through the regular season? They have, of course, in addition to Embiid, of course, they have Brown there, a big, I like to call him Super Grover. We have him, and he is definitely a difference maker there. And I guess I'm trying to figure out, I guess it doesn't matter because, business is business, but I bet Miami feels sick. I bet they feel sick because they literally had been sending out memes and everything. Even the Warriors, to a little degree, they didn't do a whole lot, but y'all remember I told y'all last Friday. I think I told y'all. If not, it was to Tanisha. No, it was y'all. That the Heat said they accidentally leaked LeBron's presser and had people in a frenzy. Yeah, put that comment up real quick, B. I need to.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were just talking about. Yeah. He said it doesn't equate to the $100 million game for being champions. That's exactly correct. That's why I say they can ride that apron. They don't give a damn about no draft
so they'll
picks.
take the penalty?
Yeah, I'll take the penalty. I'll take the penalty. If I'm gonna get if I got the setup that I have right now, I mean the penalty the penalty is not worth the team going to a championship, because really you need all the players you can. Like I said, their bench is kind of so if they can keep all their players, that might give them a better chance. So you'd want to keep that. I would go over to 8.
You agree with that, James? It doesn't matter. The money doesn't matter.
I mean, that's a big risk. You got to win. If you don't win, I mean, you're taking a major gamble. So yeah, I mean, if you can do it, and then you're figuring, but you got to figure this isn't like Miami in 2011 grabbing LeBron James and Chris Bosh to go play for championships. When these guys are in their prime, this is LeBron James, the older father, figure who's coming to bring leadership, wisdom, and 20 points per game. And so this isn't him averaging 27, 28, 29, 30 points a game and 8 assists and 7 rebounds. He doesn't need to do that because he's got scorers on the team. He's got Jaylen Brown and Tyrese Maxey that can light you up on the court. And then also you having LeBron James not giving you defense all the time. So as well. So there are some cons to go with this, but they got to win. And that's the main thing. I would take the risk. Yes, of course, I take the risk. And the Warriors. I wanted to say something about that. The Warriors. It wouldn't have been a good fit for LeBron. I mean, it'd be nice to see him play with Steph, but all these guys are old together. You need youth movement in there, So I mean, instead of calling them the Golden Warriors, they're Golden Oldie Warriors. Because I mean, they're one of the oldest. If LeBron would have went there, they'd be one of the oldest, if not the oldest team in the NBA.
Wow,
and so
that's a good point.
And injury prone too. I mean, so both. I mean, Steph and LeBron in their latter part of their years in their career have been injury prone. So you got to be, careful with that. And then of course Cleveland. While it's sentimental, it's not ideal to win championships. Like everybody's saying, LeBron's chasing rings. Fine. If I'm LeBron, I want to chase rings too. If I want to get out, everybody's done it. Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, they all went somewhere where they figured they could try to win the ring. Gary Payton, it might not have happened for those guys, but I don't have a problem with LeBron doing the same thing, trying to, add to his legacy because he already has a legacy. If he didn't play a day, if he quit this season and said, I'm done, LeBron, in my opinion, top 2 players in the NBA all time. I would put Michael Jordan ahead of him. I would place him second just for the body of work that he's presented. That being said, he comes here and wins a couple of championships. Toss up.
I mean, but B, what happens now? Because I know, LeBron has moved on. This was something he wanted to do. But what happens now with the aftermath of the Lakers? Losing LeBron is big for them, and then they're not going to get any trade assets. Bronny James, of course, they guaranteed him. They did sign him $2.3 million contract for the season. But like, how is this roster move going to pivot around? Like, who's left, basically?
Luka,
I mean,
Austin Reeves. You got players there. They'll be fine. They're not.
Have you seen the roster? Have you seen the starting 5B?
Yeah,
they look like the Minneapolis Lakers from 1943. I mean,
regardless of what they look like, they'll play fine.
You got. I mean, as long as I've been living in my era of basketball, I hadn't seen a starting five that didn't have one black dude on it. And not to be putting it out there like that, but I mean, that's what it looks like right now. And to me, they look like if you've seen the five heartbeats, the five horsemen.
I could give a damn less.
Got no money.
There's two reasons why I could give a damn less. For one, it's the Lakers. I don't like the Lakers anyway. But at the same time, players are players. They're going to play. It doesn't make a difference what color you are. That's a bunch of BS too. Anyway, they'll be fine. I'm not sure they're going to be a dominant Lakers team like we've seen in the past because they have their lackluster bench too. They don't really have a great bench either. We don't know what the 76 is going to bring Bronny on. I mean, they can't really do that because they're past the apron. So then they have to get hit. What's going on with Bronny?
Have to pay that $2.3 million that was already guaranteed if they did that.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to stay. That means he's going to stay with the Lakers, and I guess LeBron's going to be fine with that. So if he's fine with that, then I'm getting mine.
Well, I think that was the plan. I think he made sure Bronny got his contract, and then he left.
Oh yeah, timing. We always talked about timing, like we were talking about the Eric Spoelstra with the Heat. Just last week about him finalizing his divorce to make sure his former wife didn't get that extra contract that they knew they were going to give him. And it's even when you look at it, it's all in timing. And speaking of the Miami Heat, Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's trying to adjust to Miami, after this block. Like, it's been a lot of NBA news going on. Like, just, I guess in my opinion, now I'm just like, okay, how is the Eastern Conference going to look? Because now it looks like a lot of these teams are literally an arms race heading into the next season. Like, there's been a lot of big moves with the Eastern Conference. They're just like, listen, we let the New York Knicks win with a first-year coach. What are we going to do about it? And that's what's been happening.
Coach. I mean, he's coaching a lot of other teams. He just
I'm saying for New York. This was his first year with New York.
Yeah, his first year with New York, but it's not his first year coaching. It was a rookie coaching. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying the point I said a first year coach. I said as with the Knicks because we're talking about the Knicks overall. I know, like everybody knows, he's not a rookie coach. I'm saying they fired Tom Thibodeau, and immediately the very next season, I don't care if it was Peter, John the Baptist, or whoever coaching, they are now the championship team. They are the world champs. And that speaks volumes because no one thought, at least I didn't, I don't want to say no one, that might be speaking broadly, but a lot of people would not have thought that the New York Knicks would have gotten as far as they were. You're talking about a number 8 seed coming all the way up and edging out everyone else. And then here you go. Yeah, and congratulations to Anthony Edwards, by the way. He just got married to his longtime pal. I see longtime partner, not pal, but I guess she is pal. So it's a lot of stuff happening. So I guess my question is, what does this mean for the East? I mean, not only these blockbuster trades, we saw, LaMelo Ball leaving the Charlotte Hornets. We saw Trey Lance, Lord have mercy. Trey from the Atlanta Hawks. I'm having a brain freeze here.
Trey Young.
Trey Young. Thank you. Trey Young. I'm saying Lance thinking NFL. Trey Young leaving the Atlanta Hawks, and these players have been on there. And then James, I've even talked to you about the Pelicans still hanging on to Zion because he's like an NB junior with the constant injuries. And so I guess at this point, it's speaking volumes that these other teams are like, okay, We let the Knicks win this first year right away off the rip. We got to do something. We can't let another season go by like this. Okay.
Yeah, so I agree with you. A lot of changes have happened in the NBA this past year, this past season, for the better. I think it's exciting. One of the commentators mentioned that this is Stephen A. said it's exciting for the NBA to see LeBron go to a team like this. It's going to shape things up. Obviously, they were waiting on the schedule, so you're going to see a lot of different shakeups in scheduling, which will be great. You probably see the 76ers play the Lakers or something on Christmas Day or something like that, or play the Knicks first game out of the season, something like that, which will be great for basketball. I'm excited about basketball. I like seeing changes like this. That's funny. You mentioned Anthony Edwards getting married. There's also a bit of news that his baby mama tried to get more money out of him from in regards to child support, but the judge turned it down and said $3,000 a month was enough.
Oh, is this
After
the
he got it,
one that he got with when everybody was like, dude, you need to focus on? No, I'm thinking about Zion Williams. Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, that tell you how crazy these boys are. But anyway, yes, I supposedly $3,000, and the judge, he got a new contract. She wanted to up the money, and he said no, 3,000, or he or she said no. I don't know who the judge was. Said $3,000 a month was enough.
Yeah, he's got another kid with his wife, and I think the wife has another kid from someone else, and I think there's a third kid. So when they do that, they have to take into account other people, and it's kind of like whoever gets the child support first gets the biggest check. That literally is true. Like they don't care about age; it's whoever files the first claim, so to speak, and then everybody else has to deviate from that. So it could be crazy. The more kids, the less that the youngest kids are getting, because that top kid is going to always get the most, like regardless. That's like law for real. All right, I know we got to take a quick commercial break. I just realized what time it is. When we come back, I do want to continue talking about the NBA just a tad, talk about some MLB news, and then let's talk about this ESPN controversy that we've talked about in our chat, guys, with this Ryan Clark, Cam Newton firing and what happened. There's a meme out there now, well, not really a meme, but Ryan Clark did an interview where he was crying. So this thing is really big. So let's talk about that when we come back, guys. Welcome back to the second half of our show, the last half of our show for this week, Friday with the Fellas. I'm Sonia, of course, joined by B as well as James. Welcome back, gentlemen, and thank you to all the platforms. Thank you, everyone, for the comments, likes, loves, and shares on all platforms. Guys, we had other notable free agent movements, of course, and extensions. Mitchell Robinson to Boston for 3 years. And the Celtics actually, we talk about the East, but the Celtics actually addressed that rim protection that everybody talks about, and the offensive rebounding void, because they've been having those struggles all last season. So bringing in Mitchell Robinson should, especially, coming away from New York, should definitely be a big bonus. You guys agree with that move? I mean, it's $47.4 million. You think it's
that's probably a bigger loss for the Knicks than it is a gain. I mean, I think it's a gain for the Celtics, but I think it's a big loss for the Knicks. That's part of what their rotation that helped them shut down Wemby.
Yep.
And I think that's what I meant by like the 76ers aren't the only one that's everybody's getting shooken up a little bit. And also McBride, the Knicks lost McBride as well, I believe. That's a kind of a big loss for them too on their bench. So it's going to be tough for all teams. I think it's just going to get shaken up a bit, and you'll see if Celtics can bounce back without the biggest loss for them is the Jaylen Brown situation, and I think that's going to be tough.
And I was just wondering, like, I mean, and B, you probably could talk to this a little bit. When teams like win championships, we see this in every sport. It's always somebody that wants to get paid more money and they go elsewhere. Is this one of these situations, do you think, with the Knicks? I didn't hear too much about it, but you would think with them losing 2 players, to go get paid elsewhere.
Well, I mean, it's not even that really. It's about what the teams can keep too. I mean, if they wanted to pay Michael Robinson to stay there, I mean, they would have paid him to stay there. They got DeAndre Drummond from the 76ers. So that's their replacement. So they figured that they'll be fine with getting on DeAndre Drummond for the 76ers to help with the center thing, backup center. But as far as you're going to have that. Let's put it. Nick, everything fell nicely for the Knicks last year.
Yeah.
And that's why they won the championship, because everything fell just right for them. I'm not saying that team did not earn that championship. They were blazing in the playoffs. They got hot at the right time. That's what you want to do with a playoff team. And it's just it was their one. They're not going to make it this year. I really don't think they're going to make it this year. But I mean, they're going to be in the playoffs. I'm not saying that. The Knicks are still a great team. The Celtics are still a great team. They're going to make the playoffs. We got a whole bunch of teams. It's just right now the 76ers are far and above the cut. And I think that they could, that's the reason why. And you got to remember something too. During the course of the season, people are going to make trades just to compete with the 76ers in the Eastern Conference. I can tell you that right now. Yep. If a team is on the cusp and the problem that they're having is they can't get past the 76ers, they're making a trade.
I was thinking that.
So,
yeah, I agree with that. Because, I mean, there's a lot of restructuring throughout the league. But then, like I kind of talked about a few minutes ago, losing LeBron from LA, then they had to kind of build out around that center. I'm just moving back to that for just a minute because I know we're talking a lot of the Eastern Conference. But, they had to do an overhaul with their front court with Walker Kessler. And then, of course, with DeAndre Ayton not being there as well, that's a major roster shift because they're having to retool that entire center position. You got LeBron gone, now you got Ayton out, and they actually got Kessler from the Jazz, 4-year deal in exchange for 2 unprotected first-round picks, which is just around them, and then they got 2 pick swaps, which I kind of like that. I had never heard of that until maybe a few weeks ago. Guess that's like, you see this pick, you think they're this, then you're like, you know what? Nope, changed my mind. And this is where you see the switcheroo. But then they sent Ayton to the Wizards for a guard, Jaden Hardy, and then more second-round picks. So they're definitely not going to be in a win now position for the West, but they are working towards that all the way through 2033. They still have picks. So it's going to be a long haul ahead for them to kind of fill that void. I know LeBron still hustled. For him to be 41, I still saw that passion in him. He didn't fold. He didn't, woe is me. I just didn't see it. All I saw, and I'm not a LeBron fan, all I saw was leadership on the court. I saw accountability. I saw hustle, and I saw that same drive that I saw in him when he was the McDonald's Player of the Year back when he first came in the league. I still remember that. Thinking he literally skipped college and went straight into the league. So kudos to him. But back talking about the East here, Al Horford still hanging in here, y'all. This is the thing. Like, this dude is a journeyman in the league. He even got 2 years now. He's with Golden State. And I was thinking that's where LeBron would be.
again, you just mentioned another guy that's out to the pastures a little bit. And so that team is
Golden Girls. They're gonna be having.
they are the Golden Girl Warriors, right? Exactly.
Start putting up Golden Girl memes, James. You're right. They're probably gonna have like Blanche, Rose, I don't know, Mom, whatever her
Have
real
they
name
re-signed
was.
Draymond yet?
Stella.
Have they re-signed Draymond?
Probably they will. I mean, I think the main purpose for him to turn on that option was to allow room for LeBron. They can adjust his contract, but that didn't happen. So I'm pretty sure they're going to re-sign him now because, I mean, there's nothing else to bring in outside of, Draymond definitely has to be on the team now.
I felt like if LeBron went out there, I was kind of looking forward to that because I know Draymond has a temper, and I was waiting for Pauls to be tossed.
Well, we got to make sure Draymond is good because he usually has problems with the Michigan players, as in Tyron Poole. So we got to make sure that their new rookie player that they got from Michigan doesn't get any tussles with Draymond because there might be some of that going on. It's that Michigan State hate.
Yes, wild.
And I don't think nothing would have happened between Draymond and LeBron. I mean, off the court, they are like best friends. Mm-hmm. They're like best friends.
That's
so
the ones that fight, though, guys. That's the ones that you get into it with because you're gonna fight it out and love each other later, and it's no love lost. So that's the ones. And yeah, you're right because I saw they had him, AD, all those guys. I saw they got this new prank show. I saw them prank Aja Wilson. She was with Bam, and it was just that they have a whole lot of stuff. They got Draymond. He was going ballistic on them people. It was on TNT, and they came in, and I was like, okay, so yeah, they're all friends, but I still, love a little drama. So, all right, guys, last little 15 minutes here, unless you guys have some closing thoughts on NBA before we switch over to the ESPN departures.
One thing, you just mentioned a name that I don't think everybody's going to be sleeping on. There's probably going to be a dark horse. You mentioned AD. Who does AD play for? The Washington Wizards. Who else is his teammate? Trae Young. Who else is his teammate? The guy they just drafted #1 overall, DeBanza. So they might be a sleeper for the playoffs. I think they might get in there. I don't know if they'll probably make a little noise, but I don't think they're gonna make a lot of noise. But I think people need to be watching out for them. I think they are going to be much better than what they were, particularly with the team. As long as, again, another Embiid, as long as AD is not the AD of where they call him street clothes, So I mean, because he's always on the sideline. So
yeah, there's another team that has not really a very good bench either. In fact, their bench is probably worse than the 76ers right now. I mean, way worse. And then we got the drama going on with Durant too. This is dude, man. He wants too much money for not doing enough. To me,
he went out there with a little ugly, sexy red lady too. I don't know why she calls herself sexy red. There's nothing red about her skin. She's browner than me. And he's just too much.
Well, that's
attention.
That's building up. That's just media. Yep. That's all that is. But anyway, besides that fact, it never goes good with players and Detroit players and female rappers in our city.
There's that.
We did have Smith last couple of years ago when he was going out with what's her face from Detroit. That didn't work out too well from us. But anyway, yeah, AD needs to. I mean, Duran needs to.
I don't know who
he needs to come down a little bit with his salary cap. I mean, that salary is too much. You're a second-year player. Come on. And the Pistons are. I'm like, I don't know which worse. I don't know. The Pistons are just holding on. But Duran is just, it's
very hard to do when love's gone.
Anyway, go ahead, Sonia. That's all I had to say about Duran.
Well, all right. Well, speaking of departing from that, we're going to talk about key departures all night. This is the theme of our song. This is the theme of our show. Key departures from the NBA moving over and key departures on how we have been able to watch them. This is huge. At least it was huge to me, but I know it was shown to me that in 2023, there were also 20 other people from ESPN, just not the familiar faces we're used to, that went through this. I blame Disney. Guys, Disney should have stuck to Toy Story and and not the one that matches with Eli and Peyton Manning on Monday Night Football. They should have stopped with the little kid version of Toy Story for the NFL and kept to Disney World and all kids and family oriented activities and not sports. This is dire. Ryan Clark, the big name, 11 seasons with with ESPN, came on in 2015, was let go. He came out yesterday or today, was crying, kind of partially crying, tearing up, what have you, saying that ESPN was trying to say it was amicable or whatever, and this was something they came to terms with. And Ryan's like, "Nah, y'all fired me. You didn't just lay me off for lack of work. You straight up fired me." Super Bowl champion, of course, he played with, and he's an Emmy winning NFL analyst. And at first, y'all, people had said, because I saw the clip, this is what's really bad about it. Okay, you fire people every day. It happens. You fired this dude on freaking set, on live. What's up, Steve-O? On live. He was arguing with, I can't remember the dude's name, talking about the freaking Cowboys. And he told him, basically, in those certain words, you don't respect me. I'm a player and I have a different perspective of this. Let me finish. And it was argumentative, but we've seen this all the time and nothing comes of it. They went to commercial break. Ryan Clark was not there. People, started putting two and two together. They thought it was because of this argument. I'm personally saying it's because he was, it was the Cowboys. You don't talk against them. They're the gospel of the NFL. And so, because they're America's team, you can't, be nay speaking on them. Thank you, Steve-O. Peter, thank you so much. And so, I mean, this was a legacy, guys. I mean, he just signed a renewal for $2 million contract extension in 2024. And we'll get to the other ones first. Let's talk about Ryan Clark first and just how they literally just got him up out of there. Like, he didn't even come back to the set, y'all.
So Ryan Clark he's a very intelligent, very unafraid, and sometimes I wouldn't even say abrasive, but he just doesn't hold back when he believes something strongly as is offensive, particularly in regards to the African American community. And some people we have people out there that call him race baiter, they call him racist, they call him this and that. Some things you may agree with, some things you may not agree with. But what you can't say Ryan was that he wasn't real, and he kept it true, and he kept it straight up regarding things about facts. And particularly, one person was one of those guys that really didn't like him. That said Peter Schrager, yeah. But this guy I'm talking about that didn't like him was Joey Bosa.
Yeah.
No, excuse me, not Joey. Forgive me,
Nick.
Joey. Your brother, Nick Bosa.
Yeah, he hadn't been on social media in 4 years, and he gave an emoji response. Yes,
he gave an emoji response. But the problem was, people don't know, is that Ryan himself did not disclose Nick Bosa as the problem. He looked at the NFL as the problem, as how they handled the situation when he compared him wearing a MAGA shirt, meaning it was political. People told people like LeBron and Colin Kaepernick to pretty much just shut up and dribble. Why are you doing this type of thing? They shouldn't be doing this thing. But you let a guy that has a MAGA shirt on get away with anything. Don't tell him nothing. It's a double standard. Know about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely. Nick, and because I was wondering about Nick Bosa, like, because the perception, if you're wearing MAGA, is that, and you were in a room full of a whole bunch of predominantly African American guys, you telling them like you don't really give a f about them or anything like that.
Yeah, you're.
Why are you wearing? Why are you wearing that type of shirt? But they came out and defended him. It was years ago. They came out and defended Nick Bosa because that was their teammate. But who knows what goes on within the confines of the locker room? Mm-hmm. So, but that being said, that was one of the things, and it kind of just told me who this guy was, Ryan Clark. And I watched his show, The Pivot, and that's where you saw him crying. He was on his own show being interviewed by the other two the other two hosts, Channing Frye. Not Frye. I forgot Channing. No, it's not Frye. Channing Frye is the basketball player. Channing something. I forgot. But and Fred Taylor. Those guys were interviewing him in regards to what happened, and pretty much he broke down because it was devastating to him, because he said he loved what he did. He didn't hate what he did. He loved what he did as far as being talking about football, doing everything else. But he said to a fault, he loved his community too. And that's where he would not have a compromise. And that's ultimately what got him fired. And he didn't see this coming because they asked him that too.
Yeah, it's like this debate started. I don't know, because I've heard Schrager before. I couldn't think of his last name when I started speaking. This started through a debate regarding, they were analyzing the Cowboys receiver CeeDee Lamb and the Eagles receiver AJ Brown. And Schrager actually offered an alternative perspective to 3 ex-NFL players that were all on set. Everybody on set was a former NFL player, but Pete. And so during that, and this is the clip I saw, Clark decided he was going to interrupt Pete while he was speaking and said during the live, we shouldn't do this on TV. So I apologize if people think this is rude, but that's the non-player in you. And then that's when it took a turn, because Pete immediately was like, oh, stop. Ryan, stop. Like, don't belittle me like that. And so that's why people thought, because there's one thing about it. We see Stephen A get off on everybody and vice versa, but we don't see anybody saying, you made me feel this specific way. This is how you're belittling me in front of the whole world right now. I've never heard anybody say it. It could have happened, and I just never have heard it. But I don't remember anyone personally basically saying, you are assassinating my character as a man. And so when I heard of the dismissal of Clark being fired, I thought that it was for that specific reason. But then I saw other stuff, because even that argument got so bad that Mike Greenberg motioned to the television production. If you look at it, you see him tell him to cut the commercial, like cut to commercial, and they don't cut, and they're still arguing. And then Clark is loud at this point, basically saying, what I need you to do is not get mad. That's what he tells, like, basically, you're in your feelings and let me finish for once. And by the time they got to the commercial, if your co-host is motioning for a cut on live TV, I'm thinking, okay, are these dudes about to come to blows? What's about to happen here? So by the time they went to commercial, the tension was still big. They were still arguing, offset, and it made the environment just uncomfortable. That led to him actually, Ryan came out later and posted a public apology later that day about, what had happened. But like, I don't remember who that was, Steve-O or someone that was commenting, said, this all started, this is not the first time. Robert Griffin III, RG3, is monumental for starting a bunch of stuff, providing his analysis. He got into it with Ryan Clark. And so I think there's been a lot of backlash. I think some of this is financial. I get that Disney's cutting because Cam Newton was a novice a couple of seasons ago, but he's gradually come up, and he has his own podcast. And a little bit part of me thinks that's his way of practicing a little bit for the big show. And they had just extended Cam, and he's, now focusing on his cigar bar. But even during the RG3 thing, this is how Clark was so nasty. He brought up the fact that RG3's wife is white and talked about him being in an interracial marriage. This is stuff that has nothing to do with the game. And you are attacking people when you say stuff like that.
No. You got to put that in context about that. I'm going to tell you right now, Ryan didn't just come out and say that. It's in response to what RG3 said. It's some things in regards to black women. And so that's where it was regarding the WNBA. So and you're saying it's hard for, I saw where Ryan was coming from with that. He didn't just come out and say that about his wife being white at all. It had everything to do with what RG3 was saying. Regarding the black women and how they were behaving regarding Caitlin Clark. And so that was regarding that. And so I'm not saying that he was right or wrong in responding, but it was a response. It wasn't just like he just came out and just said that.
No. I knew he didn't just come out and say it. I'm just saying, like, okay, say for instance, we're all sitting here, but say we're on a public, like this is public, but say we're on a big screen, like we're getting paid to do this. I should never say, Jay trained this about your family member. I don't care if it fits the bill or not. I should stick to what the facts are. And if I want to make an offensive comment, it should be directed to just you. And the same for me. You should never speak on any of my family or anything. It's just me and you. Same with B. And if Clark did this, if there is no excuse to bring this man's wife, kids, or what have you into what he was talking about. If he said, oh, you just don't understand because you're just siding. I'm just saying this, hypothetically. Oh, you're just siding with Caitlin Clark because your wife is white too. Then that's totally inappropriate. That's totally inappropriate.
Fair enough.
And he did get an apology later. And my thing is, if you stand on what you say and what you say is true and respectful, there's no need for an apology. There's only need for an apology when you've crossed the line.
Well, no, they probably force you to apologize. So I'm pretty sure behind the closed doors, these guys don't just like come out and say they're going to apologize for anything. I'm pretty sure the brass makes them apologize. Yeah, absolutely. But that being said, I would also say I give Peter Schrager some leeway in regards. I think Ryan might have been wrong in that regard too, because you have to give Peter Schrager his due. Well, I've watched Peter Schrager at the NFL Network, and I've watched him. He's come up and done great things. And also, you have to look at it. He's been great with ESPN. And also, this I think part of this is the fact that the NFL. Ryan Clark was not with the NFL Network. He was with ESPN. Peter Schrager was with the NFL Network, but he's going to become one of the ones that's becoming the face now that the the NFL has merged with the ESPN. And so now you look at the NFL Network has been taken over by ESPN. So, and Peter Schrager is their face. So you're messing with the face, whether he's white, black, or whatever it may be. He's the top dog coming from NFL to there, the NFL Network to there. And so I thought, yes, and Pat McAfee is the top, one of the top faces, the young faces in ESPN. And so Ryan, pretty much, I hate to say it, is just like he said, he to a fault, he loved his community, and he also said on his show, could he have done some things better? Yes, differently, yes. But hindsight is always 20/20, so it is what it is. And I'm gonna say this, and I know we'll go, Ryan, wherever you are out there, I know you're gonna bounce back. Like your show is called A Pivot. You too will make a pivot and do something else and still be great, and probably learn from this from your own mistakes. Yeah. Is everybody a jack off or jerk off?
I will say this, B, and then we'll move on from Ryan. I mean, I know our time is getting away from us, but he was the biggest person out of that whole spiel because he was so connected for so long. We saw him everywhere. I think the thing was that we all connected it at first for this disagreement on set, but in all actuality, it came out that they were going to fire him anyway. And they hurried and did it because they felt like too many people knew it and that he would find out before the segment was over with. And they feared him actually, speaking on that and, maybe being unprofessional again, because he probably would have been like, oh, y'all, guess what? They don't know I know it, but I'm about to get fired. Can y'all believe this? I gave this company this, and this, and I was this. And I mean, that right there would have been blazing, right, B? You agree?
I mean,
you don't care if you leave, I guess, but don't burn your bridge.
They fired a whole bunch of people. I think you said it right when you first introduced this. Disney does not belong in the sports business. They don't. They barely belong in the business that they're in.
Yeah.
You got to remember the long history that Disney has. Okay, they've done a lot of shiesty stuff over their time in this country. So I don't think that they should have ever got ESPN bought them or anything. And the fact that they fired a bunch of people. One of Charles Davis, he was an NFL Network analyst.
A staple since 2006.
A staple, yes.
Charles
Tom
Davis,
Pelissero. Let's not forget about him.
Pelissero. I hadn't got to him. Him and Tom Pelissero. Yeah, I have a tongue tied. Top tier NFL Network insiders. They were let go before operational absorption of the NFL Network. Cam Newton and Bart Scott, core NFL analysts, featured heavily on the morning flagship shows like First Take and Get Up. Carl Revish, 33-year ESPN veteran who served as the face of Sunday Night Baseball, the Little League World Series, and Sports Center. 33 years, y'all.
He found out in the wrong way too. He found out just like I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off, but he found out the wrong way too. He found out the wrong way too as well. They didn't just like let him know. He found out like through like a text or something odd. And I'm paraphrasing.
I knew David Lloyd. I did not know Stephania Bell, longtime Sports Center anchor, David Lloyd, and signature injury expert Stephania Bell. And the thing as we wrap up here, guys, and thank you for the next minute over. This is all because of streaming services, restructuring. ESPN said organizational restructuring as they are integrating NFL Network's assets, a deal that granted the NFL a 10% stake in ESPN alongside broader corporate cost cutting across Disney. So this is a clear shift in sports and in broadcasting economics. ESPN, of course, is consolidating payroll to protect live sports rights and retain top-tier tentpole stars while drastically thinning out these high-salaried personalities that we've come to respect and love. We appreciate you guys tonight on Friday with the Fellas. Make sure you join Brian and James in the morning with Jack Hirsch for the debate show. Also, 4 p.m., the Legal Score will be doing an encore presentation from the Tanitra Batiste 101 this past Wednesday, as I have another obligation, but I will be back live following that time. And then Sunday morning, we are about to pivot into the Sunday morning football show once again, in honor, of course, every year of our great producer, Mac McGrath. Stay tuned to McGrath Podcast Network for shows, BW Flicks, all the fun stuff without the cost of cable. You guys have an amazing weekend, and thanks for tuning in.